Jeff Hoffman. For us who are entrepreneurs, this is the Pope of entrepreneurship. So this is our Pope. Is that how you clap? He could be anywhere in the world. Guess what? This is the Global Entrepreneurship Weekend. And he's here with us. Please, man, thank you.
Thank you guys for having me. I'm going to say again what I said yesterday. As chairman of the Global Entrepreneurship Network, again, this is our Global Entrepreneurship Week. This week there are 40,000 events going on in 200 countries that about 10 million people attended. But as I told you yesterday, out of 200 countries, I, as chairman, chose to be here in Nigeria, and I could not be happier that I made that decision. It has been a wonderful experience. I just have to add one more thing, because entrepreneurship, part of it is about wanting it and doing the work that other people won't. I mentioned that I have this wall at home where I write things down that I believe in, and I wrote one day that everybody wants to be successful just until they find out what that takes. Okay, they won't commit the work. But you know what happened here in Nigeria yesterday? I came back after all the events were over. I came into this room, and about 60 people in the back of that room, we gathered chairs and we sat in this empty room. I sat with 60 Nigerian entrepreneurs for 3 hours on our own to talk about entrepreneurship. You gotta want it to make change, and Nigerians want it. So all of you who spent the afternoon with me, thank you for caring enough about yourselves and your country to spend your afternoon.
Sacrifice. That is exactly what entrepreneurship is about, and that is what he did. But for you to be chairman, Mr. Jeff, there has to be this great qualification behind you. And for me, I always say, the qualification for entrepreneurship is failure. We failed in many aspects of our lives. That became a lesson, that became knowledge, and it becomes inspiration for many. Tell us, Mr. Chairman, what stood out for you? Like which particular failure that do you still remember that inspires people more? Please share with us.
Sure. So obviously we were very blessed that some of our startups worked. The one that you guys know is Booking.com, which is the company that we turned into a multi-billion-dollar global company. But along the way, when you see people that have been successful, you don't see their failures, because we're not talking about that, and that's not what I get interviewed about. But they're all there, right? And so I will share with you what you said, the lesson. I've done 8 companies, and 2 of them failed miserably. And the biggest lesson I learned that was a driver for me for a failure was we were selling a product to stay-at-home mothers. It was for housewives. Here's the problem. None of us were stay-at-home mothers, right? Even the women at my company were working. So how are we building a product for somebody that we are not? And that was the failure. It's for the same reason, right, that I tell people, if you want to do business in Nigeria, you better do what I'm doing. You better go spend your time with Nigerians. If you want to do business anywhere in the world, you have to spend time out of your office and where your customer is. I'll tell you, one time I got asked to address the United Nations on the state of global entrepreneurship. And the question was, what can we do to help? And I actually said something. I thought they were going to shoot me on the spot. I said, I'm not sure you can help because you're not willing to do the one thing you need to do to really help entrepreneurs. And they said, what? And I said, you're not willing to get dirty. And they said, what does that mean? I said, if you don't go to the villages, if you're not in the dirt in the village with the entrepreneurs, you don't know how to help them.